Yo, what's up guys, my name is Severman and welcome back to my channel. I know a lot of you guys have been requesting a full project walkthrough for my tracks for Lifetime and Heartstrings that I've released this year. Only been 2, I will try to release more tracks throughout the next year, working on a lot of new stuff right now. But today I will show you guys the full project file for Lifetime, so let's get straight into FL Studio. As you can see here, a lot of the sounds in this track are bounced out in audio as stems, and those are the stems that I got from Backspaz and Neil. This track was a collaboration. The boys started this track, so they sent me the stems, and I finished up the production, added my sounds, you know, did the mixing, mastering, edit the vocals. All right, so let's start with the breaks. I will show you the key elements first. First of all, we got this guitar loop. You can tell this one is panned a bit to the left side. It's not in the center. And I did that to create a bit more space for the vocal later on, which are always sitting in the center. And then we got this pad. Just adding some nice background ambience. And then later on we got the kick slowly coming in to add that rhythm. Then we got another pad. This one is adding more body. You know, adding more 200-300 Hz, adding a lot of warmth. The previous one is a bit more higher in the frequency spectrum. And we got a top piano. Such a peaceful vibe. Oh my god, I love that. We got another piano here. This one is also playing the chords. I guess it's probably the Spitfire Labs piano. Then we have some strings also here being filtered in nice and smoothly with a low pass filter. And those strings are panned a bit to the right side, so it's kind of the counter element to the guitar. So the guitar was panned a little bit to the left, strings a little bit to the right. This way it just separates them more from each other. Check out everything together here. Then we have a guitar bass as well in the verse, and this one has this. It doesn't start on the 1. It has this do pre note which is being pitched down. And that just adds a really cool effect here, in my opinion. Check this out. Some more ambience here. That one's actually muted, but here at the top there's got some more ambience. Really important to fill up the background of your mix. Like if this is your mix down, you can give your mix depth, and you have your elements sitting up front, the main elements, but then you also want something behind those in order to fill out that whole space that you have in your mix. Also, don't forget your effect sounds for the transitions, that type of stuff, like impacts. A ride as well, just add a bit more push here. Then in the chorus we're adding those cinematic drums. What we did here, we actually got rid of the subs because like the sub frequencies, since we have a guitar bass already providing all the lows as well as the verse kick, so as that would have been a bit too muddy in the low end. Then we got this guitar here as well, adding just some extra push in the chorus. Obviously you want to keep building up the energy throughout your track, so keep adding stuff, and this guitar really helps to just add some extra push here. And then here in the next part, as we get closer to the build-up, what I did here, we added this empty bar right before the build-up. This helps to keep the song interesting. Just adds something more unexpected to the song, but in a cool way, I guess. And then in the build-up, we're starting to introduce the leads and stuff from the drop. And we're adding some snares, you know, all the uplifters. Let me show you that stuff. So here we got a kick as well. Snares. And notice that what I did with the snares, I also have this low pass filter automation. So in the first half of the build up, I'm fading them in. And then all the uplifters and risers, those are very important to create hype and you know, that tension before the drop that you want, in order to make your drop more impactful, I guess. You know, all that hype to really have that drop hit hard. So then here we have the drop arp as well being introduced. Filter automation as well in here. Drop arp. I will show you later when we're at the drop. Yeah, the leads. We'll also show you those later. Being introduced with a low pass filter and fading them out here a bit with a volume automation. What else we got? Anything else here in the build up? Some additional effect sounds. But those are all the instrumental sounds in the break and build up, and then obviously we got the vocals. Yeah, let me show you what we did here with the vocals. So at the top here we have the lead vocal, which is 100% mono, sitting in the center. It's the main layer. And then what you want to do is in your pre-chorus and chorus, you want to fatten up your vocals, make them sound thicker by adding doubles and harmonies. So that's what we have here. So this L1, R1 is the same essentially as the leads. Well, not actually the singer, it's a different recording, but she's singing the same. But obviously when you repeat a recording, you will never have 100% the exact timing. And that allows us to pan them to the left and right side, and this way get a nice natural sounding stereo layer to our lead vocal. So that's really what fattens up the vocal here. So check out, this would be the lead vocal only.
Wanna hold you, promise me forever.
And together with the left and right.
Promise me forever.
Notice sounds so much thicker, right?
Until eternity, I'll be there for you.
That's really what you want in your chorus, perhaps even your pre-chorus. And then we also got those harmonies. Check these out. So also here one pan to the left, one to the right to get the stereo effect.
Now until eternity, I'll be there for you.
Then here we have an additional harmony, super high. It's really just in the background there. It's not too obvious. And then some ad-libs as well. What I did with the ad-libs, I duplicated them because this one is relatively dry and upfront, but then I also wanted to add one, like a duplicate of it that is more pushed into the background. For example, here you really notice it later on throughout the track. This is almost like an echo effect when you play it together with the other layers. And how I did that was there's just this EQ where I'm cutting away the lows and the highs, and then I added this little plate reverb. So that's all the vocal layers. And if you want to have a quick look at the effects, let me show you those as well. So here on some of the individual layers, I just added some rough EQing, but then most of the effects are on the vocal bus. So here, first thing I did was adding a low cut at 140 hertz. The recordings, or the way they pre-EQ'd the vocal, was like they had too much body. So definitely had to reduce that here. And then giving just a little bit of a top end boost here to the vocal. And then we have some compression here. There wasn't too much compression needed because the vocals were already pre-processed. And got some fresh air. This one is also just adding a bit more brightness to the vocals in a really nice way. And then we got TDR Nova. If you don't know what this one is, it's a dynamic EQ. It's a free one. Definitely get this one if you don't have a dynamic EQ. Dynamic EQing can really be an absolute game changer when you're processing vocals, because sometimes when let's say the singer is singing, like, is going all out on the chorus, getting really loud, some words tend to be very loud, and then there can be very specific frequencies that pop out a lot, but only during specific parts of the song. And that's exactly what I did here.
For a lifetime.
This one, try it out, give it a go. Dynamic EQing on your vocal bus. This can make your vocal so much cleaner. Guys, give it a go. Then we got two P controllers. These are, I guess, for the reverb sidechain here. I always recommend adding a low cut to your reverb, because else it's gonna muddy up your mix. And most of the times I have the high cut at 8K hertz. Got a decay time here of 2 seconds. That really depends on what kind of vibe, like what kind of reverb you want to have. There's no right or wrong. Sometimes a really long decay time can sound cool. Sometimes a pretty short decay time to give your vocals a bit more of a roomy character. Then we just got some OTT at 12%, adding just to really glue them together. OTT is a really nice way because it doesn't only apply downward compression but also upward compression at the same time. Then we got this patcher, and here I just added a delay. This allows me to EQ it in the chain, so I'm essentially just EQing the wet signal of the delay instead of having like the delay here in the channel. And then I guess let's have a listen to the drop. Let me show you all the drop elements. So let me show you the kick. So for the kick drum, I used my Severman top kick, which is the kick that gives my tracks character. I guess most of my tracks I'm using the same top kick, but I layered a different bass kick to it, so the top kick only sounds like that. Has this big crusher to it. I really like having a big crusher on the kick. It just adds, I don't know, a really interesting effect to it, makes it more interesting. And then the bass kick here, from the Cashmere pack, Punchy Kick 18. What I did here was, actually this is one trick. You have this pogo knob, and this one changes the pitch of your sample over time. Like if you change the pitch here, you will have a constant pitch. But this pogo knob is almost like automating the pitch, so it keeps changing the pitch over time. So for example, right now it's at -8%, and if I change it, just have a listen what happens. Now you can see it in the waveform what happens. So what I can definitely recommend is have two kick drums, layer a kick, have a top kick and a bass kick, and then with the bass kick play around with that pogo knob. But when you layer your kick drum, this is very important. You have to make sure that you get it really spot on, because if you don't get it right, your drop will sound completely off if you don't get the kick layering right. Let's check out the sub bass. So for the sub, I just use the 3x oscillator. A triangle shape here in the first layer, and then in the second one I use the sine wave, which is playing 1 octave higher. And then on here I just sidechain gross beat, and then cutting away the highs. Then I send that channel 5 to channel 6. On here I have an R bass. I really like R bass because it changes the relation between the octaves of your sub. So it's almost like adding a resonance filter to your bass, but in a nice way. Then just some very fine EQing here. This one, I don't know, it's probably used for the extended mix intro outro. automation. And what I did then, one trick here, I sent this sub bass, like it's going from here, it's going to the master. Okay, so this is our sub bass, but what I did, I also sent it to channel 7. And on channel 7, I have Thickify, which is a distortion plugin. I have the thickness at max. And then what I did was I cut away here the lows. So essentially what this channel is doing is it's adding overtones to the sub bass, making the sub bass richer. That's the sub bass. Without this one, it would sound like that. With it, notice how it sounds much fatter due to those overtones. Let's check out all the mid bass layers. We have a lot here. So this is basically just a super saw wave. So grab a Synth 1, Spire, Serum, or whatever. Pick a saw wave, detune it, increase the voices to 8 or whatever, and you get this sound. Then we have another one. This is top box bass. And all of those layers have this pitch automation, adding a bit more, just making the bass more interesting. Then another layer here. This is from Backspaz and Neil. There are several layers in this one. And then I added one more here. It's adding a bit more top end all together. There's some individual processing on these, like on one layer I added more EQing here like that. It's very specific stuff, like very weird EQing, but it worked at the end. A phaser, like effector, the Vox, you know this stuff, it's adding that top box character to the sound. On the bass, let me show you the bass, some fresh air, adding a bit more brightness to them, a little bit of compression here. Some very detailed EQing. That's pretty much it. I added sidechain on the individual channels here. So for the mid bass, what I would recommend is like you can just kickstart or whatever, the classic chain or the mids chain, and then most of the times I actually have to mix at 100%. Here I put 94, but I wouldn't go lower than that because then it will clash with the kick. So then here we have the leads. So the leads also Backspaz and Neil there. I don't know exactly what plugins they use for the leads, so I can only share the stem, unfortunately. They also already had processing on them, but I added more because they had too much resonance here in the higher mid area at like 2.8 kHz. If I mute that one, notice how there's a lot of resonance in there. And this sounds much cleaner. Some more EQing here, very detailed stuff. There's some stereo enhancing here, just adding a little bit of extra width to them. very detailed EQing, like literally minus 0.9 dBs here. And then here, Transpire, you've probably seen me use this a lot of times before. I like to have that one on my lead bus channels because this way you make your leads cut through the mix more because you're enhancing the transient. And enhancing the transient means you have a punchier sound. And then this is just for volume automation down here. So that is the lead bus. And then let's have a look at all the other chords, elements and stuff. Well, first of all, we added this noise plug to the leads. This one also just adds a bit more snap to them and a little bit of high end. And then we got some piano chords. Some synth chords from Backspaz and Neil. And then I added an additional piano and an additional synth. This is the True Piano's Amber Bright preset. And a Spire synth. A lot of processing on the piano. Just let me go through this really quick. Low and high cut. Very detailed EQing. Sound condenser helps compress them and also makes the sound a bit wider. But then for like sound condenser was making it too wide, so I reduced the width again. Some more EQing here, getting rid of some of the lows because we already had, you know, all the mid bass and stuff providing those frequencies. OTT to glue to compress the piano. Kickstarts, classic chain at 60%. Some enter smile for automation purpose at the end of the drop to fade it out. And then here, this is just for filter automations. And then the synth, low and high cut with a roll off to the highest. And just side chain here. This is the free punch at 80%. Then here is just some white noise. An uplifter here. And then we have some more sounds here. Yeah, let me show you the rest of the drums. So in the second half of the drop, I added some percussions that are following the rhythm of the melody. Some fills. We got some more rides, crashes, etc. Downlifters. And we have a top piano in the second half. This gated synth is from Vandalism, synth 1. It just adds a bit of energy to the drop, some extra energy. And then this one adding a bit more harmony. The square lead from Nexus. Just kind of adds an extra layer to the chords. And we've got the ARP. And then more effect sounds up here. Some more ambient sounds. More rides and stuff. A crash. So that's all the drop sounds. I don't think I'm able to play everything together with the screen recording. It's just too much. Yeah, it's too much, but you guys know the track, I guess. All right, so that's the drop. The second break isn't exactly the same as the first break, so let's have a look here as well what we did. So of course the key elements are the same, but what we did essentially here in the second verse, we added these aren't really acoustic drums. I think, did I use a Lin drum here? Yes, a Lin 80s Lin drum. Yeah, with an acoustic snare. Oh, this just added something new to the track here to keep the track interesting. And the second chorus in this track, I really like that one because I added a horn, and this makes it very epic in my opinion. It just sounds so cool. Let's check out what I did here. And we have a choir as well. Like, listen to this. This is so cool. Now with the horn. Oh my god, I love that section. This is so cool. And the funny thing is, this horn is just a free flex preset. Let me see if it's still in here. It should still be in here. Yes, the trombone sustain from the Essential Winds pack from Flex. The thing is, when I did this, this is also the reason why I bounced it out. For some reason, when you play it in here, some notes are a little bit off key. So essentially what I did was I added some auto tune to it to make it sound better. I'm not sure. I think I recorded the piano roll in Edison, sent the recorded file from Edison into New Tone from FL Studio, and then the pitch corrected version from New Tone I sent to the playlist. So that's what we have in here now. It's already pitch corrected. So on that horn, just got some OTT, some EQing. I really wanted to boost the high end here to make it pop in the mix. More EQing, fresh air, more brightness. And then here I added a stereo delay to make this one really wide, because the problem here was mixing it with the vocal was very difficult, because this trombone is sitting in exactly the same frequency range as the vocal. So that was very tricky to get the mixing right here. So what I did here, I really made that one all the way stereo, and then just some enter smile automation and volume automation. The horn is also layered with this sound. It's the VSCO2 plugin. Then these strings from Labs. And notice here how I keep adding more notes here in order to make this sound really epic. And we got the choir. This is the Spitfire Originals Epic Choir. I love that one. And then this is layered with this staccato choir. It's also the Spitfire one. This sounds so cool. Like just those two is so epic. Wow, I love that. And then here in the second chorus, I added a synthwave bass. I think that's originally from Serum. Yeah, it's this one. It sounds very analog, right? I really wanted that analog vibe here. Sounds so cool. And then we also got this music box sound, which is playing the notes from the piano here. And then we also have the orchestral drums. Yeah, I love this part. This is so cool. Wow. Again, the horn now. And the sub drop, this empty bar in order to transition into the build up. And then the rest, second drop, is basically the same. So that's it with this production walkthrough. If you want to stream the song, first link in the description. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, comment, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.